Hi, this is a short video to talk about the new features in SoccerDad version 2.0. I made a video the other day that specifically covered the new whiteboard feature, but in this video I just wanted to go through some of the other new things that are available in the application. I'm going to start out on my Teams tab and show you a few things in the team itself. So I have my Blue Sharks team selected. So this is something I created before. I'm just going to go into edit mode so I can change some things. The first thing is a minor improvement, but SoccerDad always had a set of preset colors, which was fine, but some people have written to me and suggested that, you know, it was kind of limited in terms of what you could do. So now there's any way that you can select color within SoccerDad. You can click on this custom button and use it in a couple of ways. So you know, this color I want to be light blue, and then I can actually pick up here the different shades of blue. So you can do this to actually modify your colors, and you see that color reflected here. Okay, so that's colors. Any place you see a color on the whiteboard, in the team colors, things like that, you'll have that option. Another new button that's actually on this screen is something, this is again another request from a SoccerDad coach, something called the Team Contacts Report. So the nice thing about SoccerDad is you can organize all your contacts for your players. It utilizes contacts in your phone book that you can add to. But there was really no way, if you wanted to share that with somebody who didn't have SoccerDad, there was no way to get them that information. So let's say a team parent or whatever. So the Team's Contacts Report, I don't have contacts defined for all in my test database here, but you can see for the ones that do, it pulls in the player name. You could be multiple contacts here, and then any email addresses or phone numbers that you have for them. Okay, so that's the Team Contact Report. And just like any other report, you can email that. We'll get to CSV export in a second, or print them if you have an AirPrint capable printer. So that's the Team Contacts Report. The next thing I want to show you is lineups, and this is a little different depending on whether you're running on an iPad as I am, or on a iPhone, just because of the screen real estate that's available. So on the iPad we now take advantage of the full screen. Okay, so here's a lineup that I prepared earlier. Here are the players who are going to be on the field, and these are my other players that are going to be on the bench. So one nice thing is you can actually see everything in one go. If you're on the iPhone, the bench will actually be down below and you can scroll up to see it. Okay. The other nice thing, and this is available in a couple of places, is to actually make changes. I can actually pick somebody up and drop it on where I want to swap, and SoccerDad makes the switch. Okay, just see that again. Okay, and that's available anywhere where you've got this sort of new layout. Okay, so that's the new lineup screen. Again, another little change here. If I go into edit mode and I go to one of my players and edit them, when I go to picture, now I'm actually on an iPad too, so I have cameras. So SoccerDad recognizes that and gives you the option of either taking a picture using your camera or selecting an existing photo. So this was available on the iPhone before, but now it's on the iPad because of the new camera. Okay. Next, for some of you who've used SoccerDad before, you'll notice that the tabs have actually changed here. So in the old version you had Team, Schedule, Play was the next tab, and then Stats and Settings. So Whiteboard has replaced Play, so what's happened to the old Play option? If I go into my schedule, I'm just going to schedule a new event here. So it's a game. My team is the Blue Sharks. Who am I playing against? I'm going to play against Green here, an opposing team I'd set up before. Another little change here is creating an event in your calendar used to be required. Here it's an option, so I can still go in and it'll fill in the sort of default information for me, and that puts it on my calendar, but you're not required to do that anymore. and I think we're just going to change this a little bit. I'm going to use this later. So I've got an artificially short game here, so in my demo I can use it. Okay, so there is my new game that was inserted. So that's exactly how Soccer Dad used to work. The difference is now on my schedule, when I actually click on a game, in the old Soccer Dad app, that used to take you straight into really back into that event details screen. And if you were on the Play tab, it would give you this. By combining them, I think it makes more sense, and you can still get back, if you want to modify the event, you can still get back into it through the details button here. But I can immediately go into the other options of playing the game, etc. Okay? So let's go into my game plan. Let's pretend we're going to set up this game. So again, you see that new layout when you're in the game plan, okay? I haven't set anybody up at this point, okay, as part of my plan. Here my people are all on the bench, and I can just, if I want to do this all manually, I can just start dragging people in. And, Soccer Dad's doing the same thing as it used to do before. It's showing you how much time these people are scheduled for. So this becomes useful if you're trying to equalize playing time. Okay, and then you can, same as before, you go on to the next rotation. Okay? A nice thing is, okay, so now, let's say I'd set this one up, okay? My next rotation, maybe I only want to change a couple of players. So there's a new option down here that says, okay, just copy in the last rotation, the people from the last rotation, and then I can just make adjustments, right? So I can say, okay, well, I'm going to switch my goalkeeper at this point, and I'm going to put somebody else in. Okay, so it's very easy to now just tweak as you move from rotation to rotation. Okay, so we'll put in some people who haven't played. Okay, last rotation. You can substitute in people for people who've played a lot. Okay, and then I'm done with my game plan. Okay, let's go on to actually playing the game itself. So I'm going to start my game. Now, in the prior version, when you started the game like that, you would actually come into kind of a blank field. So it was a little bit of a mystery to you who was actually going to be on the field first. So in this version, it comes up, it shows you who's going to be on the field, who's going to be on the bench, but the clock is not started at this point. To start the clock, I would use the play button. And again, I can just make some final adjustments to my initial lineup here if I want to before the game actually starts. So let's go ahead and start the game. And again, within the game, something happens and I need to make a change, it's just as simple as that. Okay, so that's good for like one-off changes. But I've also had the request that, in order to keep times accurate, you want, maybe at a dead ball, you want to actually substitute a number of players all simultaneously. So let's show you how you can do that. We can go back into our game plan, and here it shows me the players who are currently on the field. I can, let's do something a little bit more adventurous here. I'm going to go into my rotation details, and I'm actually going to change my formation here. So we're going to go for a bit more of an attacking formation. And I'm going to do a couple of substitutions at the same time. So what I can do now is I can actually apply that all in one shot, and the times are all started at the same point. So that change in formation and the players coming onto the field all happened at the same time. Okay, so your timings will be accurate. You won't have that little second delay while you actually move multiple players. Something else that's interesting is, again, this button has always been here and it gives you access to the stats. I haven't actually input any stats at this point. Now you actually have two tabs, if you like, here. The first one is stats. This is something you've seen before. The next one is subs. So what it does is it shows you the last thing that you did. Okay. The icons here means this is somebody added to the field, this is somebody who went off, and this is somebody who moved from one position to another. So you get the icon and you get a little, who's involved and a little description of what actually happened and the position that was affected. And then you can also see, if you're getting ready for your next rotation, you want to tell these people where to go. You can give them specific instructions and they can go out on the field. Okay, so that's the game. I'm just going to pause that for a second. One thing that I mentioned earlier, this is my stats tab that's been there before, and these are the reports that are available for each of my teams. A new report that you have, in fact, let's go back to my game, because I didn't input any stats here, so my goalkeeper scored a goal. We're just going to do some. We'll give the opposing team. Okay, so we just have some stats that I put in very quickly there. So now when I go back to my game log for my team, it's this particular game, we can see, and it's really a report, it's the same stats as you could access from the game, but it's now as a report. This was never available. You see the log of everything that happened. And one of the cool things now is I can actually export that as a CSV file. So there it is. It's by default it's an email, and the CSV file is an attachment to that email. Email that off, open it on your laptop, and you can import that into Excel and do all sorts of additional analysis that you might want to do. Okay, so that's CSV export. So last but not least, I just wanted to show you a couple of changes in settings, a couple of new things that have been added. The first one is that your iPhone or your iPad has this inbuilt capability that shaking it will by default trigger undo within the application. So there's undo available in various places in SoccerDad. If you're running up and down the field, sometimes that can keep happening to you. So I've actually provided an option now to turn that off. You'll still have the capability to access undo from the various menus in the app, but it won't do that thing of shaking the device causes it to think that you want to do that. Okay. Another couple of new options here. One of the cool capabilities of SoccerDad is that it can generate rotations for you, and it will use its algorithm to figure out where people should be placed and try and equalize playing time. In the past, really there were no restrictions around that, and it could substitute your entire team for every rotation. So there are a couple of things that you can do to sort of throttle back that replacement that it does. So the first thing is you can give it a limit. By default this is set to none, but I have it set to 2. So this means if I ask it to generate rotations, it's only going to do a maximum of 2 subs between the rotations. Okay, and then the other thing is whether it should consider switching people on the field. So when you do your subs, should it move people around on the field who are already there to try and equalize their playing time? So again, some people have requested, just do my subs and leave everybody else where they are. Okay, so that if it's off as it is now, it's not going to switch players on the field as it moves from rotation to rotation. Now, of course, this is going to restrict its ability to equalize playing time. So if you're using these options, you might want to turn your algorithm to equalizing playing time throughout the whole season. Okay, so that's really the end of the video. More information on my website at soccerdadapp.com, and if you have any questions, please use my support page to contact me. Okay, thank you very much.